Fear is like an invisible shadow that creeps into the mind, gripping it with icy fingers, whispering doubts, and feeding insecurities. It's an emotion that everyone experiences, yet many struggle to overcome. Legendary boxer Mike Tyson once spoke about fear not only as a staple of survival, but also as a potential source of strength if one can learn to conquer it. His life and career serve as compelling examples of how to harness fear for personal growth. Growing up in the mean streets of Brownsville, Brooklyn, Tyson was no stranger to fear. The streets were rough, often punctuated with violence and crime. However, young Mike found inspiration in the midst of chaos through an unlikely mentor, Cus D'Amato. D'Amato became both a father figure and a coach. His teachings were not just about jabs and uppercuts. They were about heart and resilience. He instilled in Tyson the belief that fear, if understood, could be transformed from a paralyzing enemy to an empowering ally. D'Amato once said, "The hero and the coward both feel the same thing, but the hero uses his fear and projects it onto his opponent, while the coward runs." This was a philosophy Tyson absorbed deeply. He learned that everyone has fear, but champions manage it. From his mentor, Tyson understood that fear could fuel ambition and alertness, making him a more meticulous and deadly boxer. His career, especially the early years, displayed this mastery over fear. Entering the ring, Tyson described feeling terrified, yet he would embody the fierce persona of Iron Mike. His opponents felt the intensity, but what they were witnessing was fear transformed. Behind the bravado was a young man channeling his anxiety into every punch. However, conquering fear isn't a one-time event, but a continuous battle. Tyson's life journey was marked by highs and lows, both professionally and personally. At the height of his career, he was unstoppable. But when personal challenges arose, the same fear that he once conquered seemed to rear its head with a vengeance. It serves as a reminder that managing fear requires constant nurturing of mental resilience and self-awareness. His later years brought a different perspective on fear. Post-retirement, Tyson openly spoke about his struggles and the transformation of his mindset. He no longer saw fear as an opponent to be knocked out, but as a companion to be understood. By acknowledging his vulnerabilities, Tyson grew beyond the pugilist persona, finding strength in vulnerability and personal growth. His speeches often echo this sentiment, encouraging others to recognize their fears as part of the human experience, rather than obstacles. Tyson's life illustrates that courage doesn't mean an absence of fear, but rather the willingness to face it head-on. For anyone grappling with fear, Tyson's story is a powerful reminder that it is possible to conquer fears, not by extinguishing them, but by harnessing them. Fear can be a driving force that propels one to unimaginable heights if managed wisely. The journey to conquer fear involves self-reflection and embracing the fear as part of oneself, just as Tyson learned to do through D'Amato's wisdom. It's about converting the potential energy of fear into kinetic energy, translating into action, necessity, and sometimes bravery. As Tyson evolved through his battles, not just in the ring, but with personal demons, he emerged with a deeper understanding of himself and his own fears. In Tyson's words, to conquer fear is to accept it as a part of oneself and to give it space to exist without allowing it to overpower us. His narrative is not just about the might of his physical prowess, but most importantly, about the mental dexterity required to turn fear into a powerful ally. In summary, Mike Tyson's journey from a fear-stricken young man in Brooklyn to a world-renowned champion is an inspiring tale of personal transformation. It demonstrates that fear doesn't have to define us negatively, but can instead push us to discover an untapped reservoir of inner strength.